Hi everybody, greetings from the garden. I'm Tressa and welcome to Cooper Farm Co., where we discuss business and the entrepreneurial journey. Today's topic, which is my second video that I'm posting, I would like to discuss your customer and knowing who you're going to design a product for and market to. And for this discussion, I think I just want to drill down on the economics of the class. I'm not going to get into this male or female, where they live as much. Just really look at who has the money and who doesn't. And I think this is really going to help you look at what kind of product you want to design and have in mind the customer before you go to the expense and the time of making that product. So if you don't know me, I still own and operate a specialty food business that I've had for 28 years. And 4 years ago, I launched a home bath and body care brand that has lotions, soaps, candles. These are a couple of my candles right here. I have these cute little tomato candles that smell just like a tomato. And then this is an heirloom tomato scent in this beautiful jar that I'll be posting soon on my website. The brand is Cooper Farm Co. But this channel is more about helping you find your way on your journey. And so let's dive in. I do have my computer here today because I want to make sure I have these numbers correct that we want to talk about. So these numbers I pulled from the internet, and this is general because there's different census that gives slightly different numbers, but for all intensive purposes, they're all pretty much the same. So the first class let's talk about is the top 1%. And obviously they're 1% of the US population. And they earn about $650,000 or more. And this is really a group of high earners, obviously investors, celebrities, high net worth individuals, CEOs of companies, large companies. So that's a class that we'll talk about and kind of how they buy. And then there's the upper class that earns $250,000 or more, and they're roughly 10% of the US population. And they're high income professionals, executives, entrepreneurs, doctors. And then there's upper middle class, and they earn $150,000 to $250,000 a year, and they're 12% of the population. Okay, and then we have, and those are small business owners, tech workers, and then we have the middle class who earns $50,000 to $150,000, and they're 42%. So they make a really big chunk of our population. They're 42% of the US population earners. And those are dual income households, teachers, nurses, office workers. The lower middle class is often referred to as a working class, and they're 35 to 50%, $35,000 to $50,000 a year household income, and they make up 9% of the population. And then there is the lower income class, which is $35,000 or more or less, $35,000 or less, and they're 29% of the population. So with these numbers alone, not even getting into how they buy or what kind of discretionary income they have, you need to really start to think about what population or economic class do you want to target. Now, in my food business and my home and bath and body care business, I'm really targeting the larger chunk of the population, which not the 40, I have customers in the 42%, the middle class, absolutely, that really enjoy high quality products. But I'm really targeting the upper middle class and the upper class in my categories because my sauces and jams sell for $8.50 to $9 each, and my lotions are like $18 to $20 each because they're all natural. So I knew that going in that I really wanted to target that group that has the discretionary income. So let's talk about how these people spend money, all right? Which is really fascinating to me once I started diving deeper into it. For years in the food business, I knew my customer pretty well because I would get the data every single year with an organization that I belong to, and so I would look at like what's the category that buys jams or sauces and what's their household income and so on. So I really paid attention to that at the time, but it was fun to kind of revisit this category. So the high income, the 1%ers, if you want to target that category, that's awesome. Just know that they're a tiny percent. They have the most amount of money to spend. I mean, this is a group that's buying private jets and yachts and the most expensive handbags in the world, and they're vacationing in the highest end luxury resorts for the most part. So if you have a product that you're designing for that group, it's a small niche, and you can make a lot of money doing it, but you definitely have to know how to find that customer and get their attention because they're pretty savvy buyers. The upper middle class, or the upper class, I love this group. They're high income professionals, executives, successful entrepreneurs. They have a large discretionary budget, so they're really likely, for my instance, to buy to really enjoy high-end culinary experiences, whether they're cooking at home or eating out. So they're going to go to nice restaurants and splurge on themselves and their families. They're going to travel and go to resort towns. So that's a great group, and 10%, that is a really large group if you start to look at it and what their needs are and what they want. They're likely to splurge on handbags because the group that they run with doing the same thing, and brand name clothing. The upper middle class, they're around 12%, and they're professionals and business owners. Again, really great group to target for what I do. But if you're looking at a line of clothing, sweatshirts, and you want to target a certain age group that's maybe in the middle class or earning 50 to 150,000, obviously you don't want your product priced out of their league. So you want to really design it to be unique, to target that audience, but keep the price reasonable, $25, $30 if it's a consumable product, or a sweatshirt is going to really hit the mark. We can get deeper into price points and how they're perceived on another video, but I really wanted to jump in here and just give you something to think about. There's something I've always thought about, and I'll leave you with this, is that when you are designing your product, whatever it is, if you're the product, if you have a consumable, which obviously I love consumables, if people burn candles, use lotion, eat the product, they're coming back for more if they love it. But there's really 3 experiences that most of us will have with anything, whether it's a vacation, going out to eat, buying something at a store, is that there's that was fabulous, I enjoyed it, I remember it. Like if you walk out of a restaurant and you're like, oh my gosh, that food was just amazing and the service was excellent. That's a top experience you want customers to walk away with. If you have that middle experience where it's just, hey, I got what I needed, there was no friction, it was all fine, but it was just done walked away, great. And then there's the bottom experience where you're so mad that you got a lousy product, you got terrible service, you were charged too much for something, they didn't make it right. So what two categories are you going to tell your friends about and your family? You're going to tell them about the best experience you had, and you're going to tell them about the worst experience you had. You're never going to talk about that middle. You're never going to say, oh, you wouldn't believe it. I walked into the store today, I got my product, I was good, I walked out. You're going to say, oh man, the food I had the other day, let me tell you about this place, or let me tell you about this bottle of sauce that I have. I absolutely love it. You've got to try it. Or on the opposite side, people are going to talk about their worst experience. We love to tell our friends and our family and our coworkers about our experience. So just keep that in mind when you are designing something, whether it's a look, a smell, a taste, an experience. What's a customer going to say about you? And are you going to go viral by word of mouth, which is more important than going viral any other way? That's how I built my businesses, word of mouth. You will grow faster. So thank you so much for watching today. I really enjoy helping others get started, and I will see you back in the garden next time.